Hey everyone, and welcome. Think about your workplace for a sec, whether it's an office, a construction site, or a lab. It's kind of full of clues, right? Some point to getting the job done, but others, they point to risk. Today, we're going to sharpen our skills and become workplace safety detectives, learning how to spot those little signs that make a huge difference in keeping everyone safe. So, let's start the investigation. Every job has its risks. Some of them just scream at you like working at heights. You can't miss that one. But honestly, most dangers are a lot quieter. They're hiding in plain sight, tangled up in the things we do every single day. The real trick is training your eye to see both, the big, obvious threats and the subtle ones, before they can cause any trouble. So, here's our game plan for this investigation. First, we're going to figure out the motive, why safety is absolutely everyone's business. Then we'll get down to the fun part, training our detective's eye to spot those hidden dangers. After that, we'll build our protective toolkit, learn the language that can save lives, and finally, we'll crack open the official rulebook. All right, first things first, let's talk about the why. Why is this so important? Because safety isn't just about ticking boxes on a checklist. It's really the foundation of a workplace that actually works for everyone. Don't just look at this as a list. Think of it more like a powerful loop. It all starts with protecting people from getting hurt. When you do that, well, you're obviously going to have fewer accidents. Now, that's not just a nice thing to do, it's also a legal requirement. But here's the real magic. When people feel safe, morale goes up, and so does productivity. It's a win-win that just keeps feeding itself. Okay, series great, but now it's time to get our hands dirty. In this section, we're going to learn how to scan our surroundings like a true detective, looking for those hazards that might be hiding right under our noses. This is where the real investigation begins. A good detective always knows what they're looking for, and hazards tend to fall into 5 main categories. You've got your physical hazards. That's the obvious stuff, like a wet floor or machine without a safety guard. But then you have the sneakier ones, chemical hazards, like fumes from cleaning supplies. Ergonomic issues, like a bad chair causing back pain, biological risks, and even psychosocial hazards like burnout from too much stress. Each one needs a different way of looking. So, you've seen the categories. Think you're ready to spot some dangers out in the wild? Let's find out. Whoa. Okay, take a close look at this workshop. It's a bit of a mess, right? My eyes go straight to that oil spill on the floor. That's a classic slip hazard just waiting to happen. And look, the main exit is totally blocked by boxes. That's a huge no-no in case of a fire. Oh, and is that person riding in a wheelbarrow? Yeah, that's definitely not what it's designed for. Go ahead and pause for a second, see what else you can find. So, you've found a hazard. What's next? Well, you need the right tools to protect yourself. Let's talk about building our protective toolkit, starting with the gear that acts as your most immediate line of defense. And that brings us to personal protective equipment, or PPE as we all know it. See, when you can't get rid of a hazard completely, PPE becomes that crucial barrier between you and potential harm. It's literally your personal armor on the job. And it's all about using the right tool for the right job. Hard hats, they're a non-negotiable on a construction site to protect your head from falling stuff. Goggles are essential in a workshop to keep debris out of your eyes. In a super loud factory, earplugs are what save your hearing long-term. And the right gloves can be the only thing standing between your hands and a nasty cut or a chemical burn. But here's the key takeaway, and it's a big one. Just having PPE isn't enough. You have to pick the right kind for the job. You have to know how to use it the right way, and you've got to keep it in good shape. Damaged gear, that just gives you a false sense of security, and that's dangerous. Now, let's move beyond the physical tools, because you know what? One of the most powerful safety tools we have is language. The right words, said at the right time, can prevent an accident before it even has a chance to happen. I mean, just look at the difference here. Watch out for that machine. What does that even mean? It's so vague. But do not operate machinery without proper training. Boom! That is a clear, direct command. It leaves zero room for confusion and tells you exactly what not to do. That is the power of using precise language. There's actually a pretty simple formula for creating warnings that work. You start with a really clear command, you make it sound urgent, you clearly say what not to do, and here's a big one. You tell people why, so they understand the reason behind the rule. And finally, you reinforce good habits by phrasing things positively, like always wear safety goggles in this area.
All right, we've covered taking personal responsibility, spotting hazards, and communicating well. Now let's pull the camera back and look at the official framework that holds all of this together, the rulebook that sets the standard for everyone.
And that official rulebook is the Occupational Safety and Health Act, or what everyone just calls OSHA. It's so important to get this. These aren't just good ideas or helpful hints. In the United States, OSHA standards are the law. They're legally enforceable rules designed to protect every single worker. At its heart, OSHA's mission is actually pretty simple and really powerful: to make sure every worker gets to go home at the end of the day in one piece. It does that by setting the standards and then providing the training and resources to help everyone meet them. And OSHA covers a ton of ground. This is really just a small sample of the big issues it focuses on. But you probably notice how they connect right back to the hazards we've been talking about, right? There are specific rules for preventing falls, for machine safety, for handling chemicals, for using PPE, and for electrical work. Every rule is there because a known risk exists. And with that, our investigation is complete. We've learned why safety is so critical, how to spot dangers, and what tools we have to protect ourselves. But a good detective's work is never really done. The real question is, what are you going to do with this information? What's one small change you can make tomorrow to make your workplace just a little bit safer?